Welcome to the Hilton M. Briggs Library Speech 101 instruction. This video will cover searching the ProQuest database. By the end of this video, you will be able to use your search strategies to find newspaper, magazine, and journal articles, and you will be able to tell the difference between newspaper, magazine, and journal articles. Information comes in many forms. We have already looked at books, videos, and government documents. Now we will look at articles from periodicals. A periodical is something that is published periodically, like a newspaper that is delivered daily or weekly, a magazine you would find at the grocery store, or a journal a professional association publishes. We have many databases to help you look for such articles. For this module, we will focus on the ProQuest database. ProQuest is a general database, meaning that it covers pretty much every field, but none in great depth. That makes it perfect for this class. As you progress in your major, you may be introduced to more specialized databases. The great thing is that what we teach you in this module applies to most of them as well. We'll continue to use the topic we developed a couple of videos ago. To get to ProQuest is quite easy. From the library's home page at http://www.sdstate.edu/library, click on Find Library Resources, then click on ProQuest. This results in the basic search screen. We can simply type our search into the box on this screen. Before I click the search box, let me point out three things. There are three ways to limit your search before you even begin. The first is by date. This is useful if you are told to use only articles from, say, the last 3 years. I'm not going to limit my search here because I could use an historical perspective. Second, this full text documents only box is a good one, but not one I recommend using the first time you search for your topic. I'll show you another place to do this. The reasons I recommend waiting are that if you click in the box, you will only see articles that are full text in the ProQuest database. We have a lot of other full text collections, and you won't see any of those articles. The second reason is that around 2/3 of the articles indexed in ProQuest are indeed full text, and you might end up with a smaller than necessary number of results if you limit to full text too early. I have done searches where almost everything was full text, and I've done others where I didn't get any full text. The third limit is for scholarly journals, including peer-reviewed. This also isn't useful right now, but in later classes, it is likely that you will have an assignment requiring you to use scholarly journals or even peer-reviewed journals only, so it is good to note that you can limit this way. For now, I won't limit my search at all. I'll just click on Search. I get 11,064 articles. I guess I don't need to worry that limiting to full text would leave me with too few articles. I do, in fact, need to find ways to limit the number of articles. Let me show you how to adjust your search. There is a box on top of the screen with suggestions for topics you might have meant or that might help you focus your search. This box can take two forms. The one we have here, Suggest Topics, will do a new search. You may also see the option of refining your search, which will narrow your existing search. I will use the topic Alcohol Use and Drunk Driving, as it describes my topic really well. I click on it and get 313 records. Much better. Now I can look at specific types of records. In these results, I get scholarly journals, magazines, trade publications, and newspapers. There are other types of sources you may see as well. If I click on the Scholarly Journals tab, I will see only those articles from scholarly journals. This makes it easy to get articles from a variety of sources. I have 131 choices for an article or two from scholarly journals. Before we go on, let's talk about the difference between three of these publication types. Scholarly journals are, indeed, scholarly. They are intended for scholars, researchers, experts in a field, or students. They are usually based on research, and if they are not, they say so. For example, a letter to the editor is going to be more of an opinion piece than a research report. There is often hard or soft data presented in the paper, not just what the author says that you must take on faith. The author will tell you where he or she got their information in the bibliography at the end of the piece, and there will be citations within the article. There may be pictures, graphs, or charts that illustrate the text. You will also know why the author is qualified to write on a topic. Examples of journals are Chemistry and Biodiversity, Music Analysis, or Sociological Quarterly. Scholarly journal articles online can be identified by their author information, bibliography, and in-text citations, as shown here. Magazines are for entertainment as well as information. They are written for a general audience, and you can pick them up in the grocery store, Walmart, or Barnes & Noble. People are likely to subscribe to them at home. For instance, I subscribe to Crochet Magazine. Not only does it have the word magazine in the title, not actually a dead giveaway, there is nothing scholarly about it. Other examples of magazines are Ladies' Home Journal, and here the journal in the name does not indicate that it is a scholarly journal. Car and Driver, Macworld, People, Time, and Newsweek. They rarely have bibliographies letting you know where they got their information. You often don't even know who wrote the article. If they report on research, it is hard to follow up that research because there's a lack of facts about it. Paper versions also have a lot of advertising. Online magazine articles can have photos and illustrations that are illustrative but not important to understanding the text. Articles will be fairly short and usually do not have a bibliography. Sometimes you won't even know who the author is, and even when you do, you will rarely be told why the author is an expert in the field. Newspapers are familiar to most people, but become harder to identify when you are looking at a database. Newspapers are published more frequently, often daily, and carry less reliable information. Most of that information is news. Newspapers try to cover what is happening now, so the reporters have very little time to check all the facts. Often, the facts they want to report on are not even really known, and experts may be speculating. If you have ever followed a story in a newspaper over the course of several days or weeks, you will have found that the facts change over time. As people learn more about recent events, what we know changes. A very old but really major example of this is our view of the world. People once thought the earth was flat. Today, although there is a flat earth society, the vast majority of us know that the earth is a sphere. Newspaper articles online can be difficult to tell from magazine articles. There is one clue that often indicates an article is from a newspaper: the date. Most newspapers, especially those you find in our databases, are published daily. They will have a full date, not just the month and year, and they will not have a volume or issue number. Newspapers are also frequently associated with a city, while only a few magazines are. The New York Times, for example, is a newspaper, while Time is a magazine. Since we were smart and didn't limit by full text to begin with, we know we have a lot of articles. Now I can limit to full text with this link. Note that there are a couple of types of full text that we might see. The first couple articles actually show us both kinds. Here is full text by itself. This looks as if the article was retyped for the database. I recommend using the other type of full text whenever possible. This is a PDF file. This looks like it was scanned or photocopied from the paper edition. The advantage of this is that you do not lose any formatting that the journal used to make the paper readable. Also, citing is easier because you know what page your material is on, and if you want to paraphrase or quote, that's important. You don't always have a choice of type of full text, but when you do, PDF tends to be better. You can mark records you want to use here to make it easier to print off the information about them. Just click on the box by the article that you want. I've marked a few records. Let's look at my marked list. The tab up top lets you look at your current list of marked records. You can create a bibliography to email to yourself, print, or download. You can choose the style, but you must double-check the citations. There are usually errors that you must fix. You can email the bibliography and the full text to yourself. PDFs come as attachment. Other full text comes in the body of the email. You can export citations into EndNote, and there is an extra credit class on citing and using EndNote. You can create a web page that contains links to your articles, searches, and publications as well. I'll email these articles to myself. I'll choose APA format because that's the style that you use in Speech 101. I'll click on PDF because that is the format I prefer. If I have some PDF and some that are other full text, I'll email myself twice to get both. I fill in the boxes and then I email myself. Now I have my information whenever and wherever I'm ready to use it. As you move forward in researching your speeches, be aware that there are librarians willing and eager to answer your questions. Don't struggle for a long time before asking for help. From most of the library web pages, there is a link for the Ask Us page. This page lists multiple ways to ask us questions. You are always welcome to come into the library, of course. But if you don't want to come see us, you can call us, email us, or even chat with us online. The Ask Us page gives you all the information you need to ask your questions. Good luck and have fun.